All right. Hey, everybody. I'm live streaming. I'm doing this because I missed my live stream last night, and I figured if I was going to sit here and do some do some lettering, I might as well, do a live stream. Who's there? I'm not even looking at the chat. I'm not even looking at the live stream. Oh, hey, Avery.
So,
how's it going, man?
5 minutes is not a head up.
Well, I just thought about it. We just finished eating dinner, and I've told Jen I'm gonna go do some work, and figured what the heck, I'll do some lettering while I'm at it. Might as well go do some live stream. What I'm doing, I'm not sure if I'm going to do this for every single page, but I definitely want to make some word balloons look a little bit better. Like you could see just by this one.
Excuse me.
By this one right here, that there's way too much room in the word balloon. I kind of, I did that on purpose. I kind of liked it, but I realized that it's really not. It's not good. So I figured I'd take this opportunity. Hey, Salty Pleb, how's it going? I figured I'd take the opportunity, since we're working on getting this, making it the best we can make it, and fix a few things that, And plus, I really need to catch up on my lettering skills, because I haven't done it in a long time. Actually, the last chapter I lettered was chapter 13, and I'm drawing 16 right now. So I'm like, I've got 2 chapters behind that I have to fix. So Salty Pleb says, "Fine, my fifis are intact." Okay, good. And one of the other things I did is, when I got the color files from you, I started slightly modifying them. Slightly, some of them I made the backgrounds a little bit larger. Some of them I moved panels around slightly just to fit better into the 8.5 by 11 template, and I increased and decreased some of the word balloons size-wise, and I really shouldn't have done that, because I need to keep all the word balloons. I mean, at least the font size the same. And I realized that by reducing or increasing, I screwed that up. So I figured if I go back and I just touch up a few of the word balloons that I can see stand out as being a pain in the butt, it'll make everything better. To be honest with you, if I had to go back and re-letter the entire book 1, I'm okay with that, because honestly, I need to get it back on my to lettering, especially if we're going to be involved in another project. I need to. Plus, I've barely used this new Illustrator, the most updated Illustrator program, so I've got to play with it and get back to used to using it again. Some of the controls that I'm used to, they moved and are in different places, but they're still the same controls. So it's just a matter of refamiliarizing myself with how to find them. Like this one here that merges everything together. That one's a good one to know how to do and know where it's at. You used to have to have a thingamabob to have it done right. See, that word balloon looks so much better.
I'm not looking.
Oh, you're not even looking. Okay, well, trust me when I tell you the word balloon looks better. Why is there some white dots right there?
Because it's probably
yeah, I know,
a mess you left on your layer.
Yeah, I know.
I cleaned up a ton of that stuff, but I might have not caught it all.
Yeah, I know. That's okay. That's okay.
There's probably some there I just didn't catch.
That's all right.
I cleaned up a ton of it.
Well, I'm going to use this opportunity to fix some of that stuff, you know? I mean, the campaign's going to be at least a month, so... And I don't think I'm working on anything else but that during the but Hero 1. Let me see here.
All the successful campaigns ran for actually longer than a month.
Oh, I know. Well, when I was looking into setting it up, they recommend 30 days, but the max is 60. Mm-hmm. So, you know, the way she says this, well, then that settles it. Well, then that settles it.
Yeah, I think there's a comma or something there.
Yeah, there is a comma, but does it need to be 2 separate word balloons? Or, well, then, ... that settles it. No, I think it's fine the way it is, to be honest with you.
I think it's a comma.
Yeah, it is. There's a comma there.
That implies your pause.
Well, then, that settles it. Yeah, the version that I have on the screen is actually the. You know what? I was just thinking I could make these. I really don't need to. I was going to make the. I was going to make the lettering thicker, but I don't really need to do that. It looks just fine as it is. Ah, the minutia of creating comics. See, here's the thing. You know, sometimes, most comics, you have a writer, and then you have a penciler, and then you have an inker, and you have a colorist, and you have a letterer, and you have an editor, and I'm actually doing 4 of those roles myself. So, it's all right.
You should probably let Avid or somebody take a pass at it before you go to print.
Oh, you mean reading it?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, he's the one that caught that one error that I didn't even realize I had. So
since you're relettering it, most of it, and and the one editor, the original editor's anti, just...
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be willing to help or not. I still haven't reached out to him yet.
No, he's anti.
That doesn't mean he won't be willing.
Yeah, it does.
No, it does not. Let's see here. Let's see what other options we have here.
That dude ain't your friend anymore.
Well, I still think he's my friend.
You are naive.
I know. Never said I wasn't. Do-do-do, do-do-do. There we go. Yeah, if you guys ever wanted to know how boring the life of a letterer is, this is boring.
Look at my screen.
Oh, nice. That looks really cool. That looks awesome. Very nice, very nice. All right. Let's see. Let's put this here.
And I put those other pages in the folder a couple days ago.
Which other pages?
The page that was unfinished that I missed from book.
Oh, okay.
In that 2-page spread. You said you couldn't find that wasn't there?
Oh, okay.
I put them both in the Dropbox.
Oh, excellent, excellent.
I
Honestly, I didn't. I haven't even started looking for it. I wasn't worried about it. So
they're both in there.
okay, cool, excellent.
I told you I colored that page the day I had it, and then
Oh, I know.
the day I
remember,
started wood, and I colored this page.
I remember you doing it. But
no, I said I'd finish. I didn't finish it on stream. I just did some of the flashback scene.
why can I not zoom out? Why is zooming not an option? Hmm. Oh, okay. I'll just use the keyboard controls. There we go. A Mac. Problem with having a Mac. I don't always recognize the controls.
There's also the problem of having a Mac.
Oh, shut up. I love my Mac, man. My Mac is the greatest. All right. We'll make a separate file. Well, that's well. Does that? Oh, wait a minute. That might actually be off center. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. That's better. I sometimes do that. I sometimes get in a hurry when I'm doing it, and when I'm doing the letter, and I don't always center the words in the balloons. And I can fix it in Photoshop. It's not that big of a deal, but it's better to do it at this stage and not have to worry about it. All right, that's it. And that's done. We'll save. All right, here, I want to show you, well, I want you to look at something real quick.
Why?
Well, because I'm going to put it on Facebook, or I'm going to put it on, whatchamacallit? Twitter, and ask people's opinion, but I figured I'd get your opinion first. All right. I really don't think I need the stroke, the white stroke, as much as I used it before. Okay, crap, is this page not... Oh, this page isn't sized right. No, it's not. Damn it. Well, it doesn't really matter. I already... Oh my god, this is the most boring stream ever. Let's see here. I'm going to save this as 1902. Then go back and open back up 19. Because when I did the black and white and gray version of the book, it was important to have the white stroke around the characters in order to separate the characters from the backgrounds. But when you're looking at the full color version, it's no longer necessary, you know? And I'm willing to change it if enough people agree with me.
You can't change it on some pages.
Oh, sure I can. It may just take a little bit of work, but I can do it. Canvas size 17. File open. Oh, you know what? I forgot this one has a separate layer on top of it. I didn't include it. That's all right. It's not necessary.
Can I get the keys?
Yep. Of course you can, young man.
You.
There you go.
Bye.
Love you, kid. Drive safe.
I will.
Don't lock your keys in the car. That's probably gonna. Right. That's my template. All right, let's go on to the next page and see where we're at. Page 20. Canvas size 13.91. Boom. Fix that. Delete this layer. Save, file, open. I got to get my template out real quick. Paste on top. Make sure the numbers line up, and they do. So that's the important part right there, making sure the page numbers line up in the same spot. There was something I did in one of the earlier versions where the page numbers shifted from page to page. So when you flip through the book, the page numbers moved, and it just annoyed the crap out of me. And I realized what I had done, and it had to do with the page size when I adjusted it for printing. So, see, actually, the stroke here works. Look at that big spot where his tail's not colored. Wonder who did that. There we go. That was probably me.
What?
Oh, the word balloon, I must have shifted down because it showed a spot that you didn't color.
Oh yeah, I colored it with the word balloons there.
Oh yeah, I know. There's like a little white spot on his tail.
Oh yeah, there's some in the trees too.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm gonna put this back on here and save because it's not. I know if I leave the template design on the top of it, I know it means I'm not done with the page. I got to go back to it. This is one of those pages I may remove the stroke altogether, even though the character breaks the border and goes into the other panel. We'll have to look at that closely. Page 21. Yes, Charlie, I hear you. Yeah, see, you can tell with this one, like this word balloon right here, there's way too much room around it. When she's saying his name, it's okay. But when it's this one, it needs to be a little bit more tighter. Now I got to rethink how I want to do Brock's voice, because his font size is slightly bigger than everybody else's because he has a deeper voice. but I gave his word balloons lots of extra room. I may want to shift that. Man, I will not be surprised if I end up going back and re-lettering this whole thing. You know that?
Well, if you think you should, maybe you should. I don't know.
Well, part of me wants to. Part of me wants to correct a few little things I keep seeing that annoy the heck out of me, but we got time.
I'm done.
Oh, I know.
So
it's all me now, so
yeah.
I like that page. I like this page a lot. Number 22.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what it is.
I don't know. I don't remember what the pages are.
Oh, all right. Well,
I don't remember what happened on page 22. You know.
Well, just trust me when I tell you I like the page. Because you did a good job coloring it, man. John, one of the things he said is that when he was looking at the online portfolio, is you left a lot of room on these characters, not a lot of shadow or shading. I said that's because I left it all up for the colorist. Because you're so much better at that than I am anyway. So
yeah, you don't spot. You didn't do a lot of line weighting and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know. Now, see, this is one of the ones I may want to consider dead also. We're going to save that for later. My computer's going slow this evening. I was watching the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, Eraser. One of those 90s movies that, you check it out. There's a big old patch of white there, and there's
what?
Nothing. It's just something the word balloon covered.
Yeah, the word balloon's covered. Yeah.
Yeah. I like these panels too.
I colored with the word balloons there, man. I didn't.
I know. Get back, you big buffoon.
I rolled with, okay, this is what he's presenting, so this is what I'm gonna, Like, there's probably going to be some pages, if you remove the stroke, it's not going to look right.
No, well,
on some pages, because I colored thinking this is.
No, I understand.
Am I doing a pinup for the thing, for the campaign, or what? For one.
You mean for a print?
Yes.
Yeah, if you want to. I'm going to start it off with just the basic stuff. So.
Okay.
Basic books and sketches type thing, and we can add on to it as we go. I'm really starting to think that maybe next week is a bad week to start it with the holidays and all.
Yep.
But then again, if I don't start it, it's just going to drag out and out and out,
You're going to be doing it for 2 or 3 months anyway.
Well,
if you think you're going to do this in 30 days, you're crazy.
Well,
never mind. I forgot who I'm talking to.
That's right, man. Crazy's my middle name. Geez, look how crappy that looks without the colors.
So do you have a print option, like when the images you already have to be like the book with the print?
I've got a couple of pinup type stuff that might look good, but I hate prints. I really do.
But the thing is, though, there's a lot of people that like the book with the print because they want to frame the print and put it up. It's not about what you like. It's about what the customers like. And the customers do like the prints.
Mm.
There's a reason everybody has that tier, the book and the print. There's a reason everybody has it. It's like the book, then there's the book and the print. Then there's like the book and something else. And then there's like the book and a sketch, or the book and original page. There's a reason they all kind of follow something similar to that.
Yeah. Hey, D, how's it going? D asks if I hand write any of this. Nope. We use Illustrator.
Yeah, no, that would. Oh God.
My handwriting is utterly horrible. I would never even try to hand letter a comic.
Oh yeah, if hand letter if everybody had to go back to hand lettering, there's a lot of indie books that would just disappear. You wouldn't they wouldn't come out because that's a big part of what makes it possible.
Now that was weird. Why was page 24 the page number wasn't a separate file? I mean, wasn't a separate layer. I purposely did that in case I had to go back and. What the heck?
Who knows? Maybe I accidentally merged it. Maybe I accidentally did it. Or
hey, check this out. Look at this. I don't know how this happened, but on one of these pages, there's like a 1 and a 2, or a.
I can't see.
Oh. All right, don't worry about it. I'll fix it.
I can't see.
That's so weird. That's actually that's a layer somewhere. That is so weird.
Yeah, I can't see I can't see it.
All right, well.
Find where it is and erase it.
Wait a minute. This isn't a layer. This is actually something in Photoshop. Ah, okay. Never mind. That must have. All right, I figured it out. Never mind.
Oh, you're killing me.
Well, there was like a 1 and a 2 on in the middle of the page, and there's like a directional thing. All right, guys, check this out. Let me just show you going backwards on this. Yeah, here it is. This 1 and this 2. What is this?
It disappeared when you clicked off. It's something in Photoshop.
Yeah, I don't know why. There it says again. It's for some reason it's when I zoom it puts the I don't know what the heck it's doing. It better not be on the printed page, that's all I'm saying. I don't know why it's doing that. What font do you use? I use a couple of different ones, but the main one I use for just the conversations, the people talking is crap. Now that you asked me, I forgot what it was. I think it's Digital Strips, I think is the name of it.
Comic Sans.
No, I don't use Comic Sans. Do you know, I think that's the reason why Mike Norton doesn't like me anymore.
No,
is because listen. I put out something. It was an idea for a story I was gonna work on, and I lettered the page. It was just a 1-page thing, and I put it out there. And this is back on Facebook, early Facebook days, and he commented, says, "Is that Comic Sans?" And at the time, I didn't realize that comic professionals hated Comic Sans. And I said, "Yes, it is." Like, I was proud of it. I was more or less just pointing out, yes, it was. I think that's when he unfriended me.
No, it's because you voted for fallen Trump.
Oh, well. All right, so check this out, guys. Watch this. This is the background layer. Then you add in some colors from Avery. And then you add in some additional highlights. Then you add in a layer to lighten it up a little bit. Then you add in the middle layer of the characters, and then their coloring. Then you add the top layer and the color layer. And then you add the bottom layer. Then you add the foreground, color it, and you add the letters, and then boop, you add the page number, and there you go. That's a page. That sure is a lot of it sure is a lot of layers for just one page. All right, my Photoshop's starting to act up, so
You said leave it in layers.
yes, absolutely. Leave it in layers. That way I can fix little things if necessary. Let's see here. All right, D, come here. I want you to check something out, okay? I'm going to show you a page. Fit to screen. All right, you see this page? There's two different versions of this page. This first one here, we'll call this one number 1. You can see there's a very thin white line around the character as well as the butterfly. And you have that in all 3 panels. And this version doesn't have the white line around the characters or anything else. Now, the reason the white line was there originally is because when this book was black and white and gray, in order to help make the character stand out from the backgrounds, I added this white line, which is called a stroke, around the characters, as well as anything I wanted to stand out, the butterfly in this case. And when the page is fully colored, you don't necessarily have to make the character stand out anymore, because they stand out just based on the fact that they're 2 different colors compared to the background, you know? I mean, he's brown and has different tones of brown, and you can tell that he's separate from the grass, which is the background, and so forth. So is the stroke no longer necessary, or does it look cool and I should keep it? Part of me wants to get rid of it, but part of me likes it. Sometimes. But I did have another page that I removed the stroke from, and I really liked. Well, let me see. Where was that one? There was a. Oh, where was it? Where was it? Maybe it was in the book 1 folder. Page 75. Nope, that's not it. Oh, damn, now I don't know where I put it. Well, hold on. Let me go to documents. I might have stuck it in my document folder. Yeah.
I like it.
D likes it. Okay. Well, there was another page. Well, there was one page that I showed my wife. Let's see. Maybe it's in the color version. Oh, is this it? Page 47. Yeah, here it is. Okay. Let me show you the other version of this page. Chapter 2. I got stuff all over the place. I got to remember where I put all this stuff. Big template 3. Oh, we'll just go to Avery. Avery folder. Nope, not in that one. Not in that one.
What are you looking for?
The original version of the page that still has the stroke.
Oh, God.
All right. Check this out. This is page 47, which is a splash page. It shows Hero and Pudge starting out on their adventure, and you have the butterflies around them. And I added the stroke around the butterflies as well as Hero and Pudge. And when I showed this page to my wife, because this is one of the pages I used for the little color preview book that I printed up, she said the butterflies looked like they were stickers on the page because the stroke around them made them stand out. So what I did is I removed the stroke from the whole image, and it looks like this. And I kind of like it better. Okay. I mean, especially with the butterflies. It doesn't make the butterflies look like stickers. But the butterflies do stand out because of the different colors on the background, you know?
And the black in the trees is color out.
Right, and I don't have to separate the butterflies from the background because the color does that all by itself. So removing the stroke actually, I think, improves this page. Yeah, come to think about it, your wife is right. Yeah, believe it or not, 9 out of 10 times she's usually right. She's usually right. I tend to trust her. So, all right, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna do it page by page. Take it into consideration page by page because
that's what you should do.
Yeah, I know. Well, there's like that first page number 2, where it has the mom standing in the doorway, and I have the stroke around her body, but it's not completely around her body. It kind of distracts a little bit. Actually, I think I went back and added the stroke. Hold on a second. Let me show that page. Zero, all new color edition, page 2. Yeah, I went back and added the stroke all the way around her. And, well, because of the fact that she's standing in the doorway and the light source is coming from behind her, it makes sense that she would have a stroke all the way around her. But when she goes into the room, it kind of gets dark. So the stroke that's around her is like the same color as the background. So it doesn't make her stand out, which you wouldn't want her to. So I think there are cases where the stroke, the highlight is good, and then there's other cases where it's not so good. And
yeah, you're thinking about it too much.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's what I got to do. I got to think about it too much. But this is one of my favorite pages. Page 2 is one of my favorites. And the way Avery made it work, you know. I know you hate it when I give you props, but definitely made that page stand out. I
don't like the sound of your voice. It's fine.
Doesn't like the sound of my voice. Whatever. Whatever. See, this is another one of those.
Cheap shot.
Yeah, so this is another one of the pages where the stroke actually works.
Yeah, it's fine there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta do it. You're talking about something kind of basic, like you just had a revelation, and it makes me just shake my head.
Well, when I did the book, I put the stroke around everything. Absolutely everything.
I know. It was overkill.
I know. But in my mind, it was necessary, you know? It worked.
It's a thing you picked up from comic artists from the 70s and 80s that used to do it because they wanted to separate the character from the background.
Right.
And printing methods of the time, and the coloring wasn't so great back then. Printing and coloring both weren't that great. So a lot of people did it a lot when they had heavy detailed backgrounds and a character on top. They did it like a lot of people did it. And that's where you picked it up from, and you've continued it, even though it's died down a lot because of modern printing and modern digital coloring.
Well, you know who used to do it all the time, and I loved it every time I saw it?
Art Adams.
Art Adams.
Yeah. You're talking about an artist that's from the 80s, from the bad printing on newsprint with the very simple coloring. And that's part of why they did it.
Yeah.
He didn't invent it. He came into the game and learned to do it because a lot of other people did it.
But I always really, really liked it. So,
and it looked cool, but it's of its time, and it had a reason. You notice he doesn't always do it as much anymore.
Well, all he ever does nowadays is covers. So,
but still, if you look at his drawings and stuff, he doesn't do it as much because modern day printing, it's not necessary to do it.
See, now with this page, I took the stroke off of the top panel, but I left it on the bottom too.
Fine. Yeah,
Because
yeah,
it
yeah. It's
works.
great.
It
Yes.
works with that page. I'm going to consider that page done. Okay? Don't die on me. We got too much work to do, man.
God doesn't love me and die.
Yeah, I think this page was right too, but I got to make sure.
You got a lot of work to do. I could get fed up and walk away any day. You got to remember, it's not my book.
I know.
I'm just a peasant.
You are a fellow hot dog maker. All you're trying to do is make the hot dogs. But you have no emotional attraction to this book at all, so you don't have a dog in the fight, so to say.
I don't have it. Yeah, I don't. I want it to do well. I want it to do very well. I think it has potential.
Digits Rigor 14. That's what I thought.
I want it to do very well. My name's attached to it.
Well, for the moment. We'll see how long that lasts.
For the moment.
Actually, doing the page numbering this way as a separate layer with an actual number was important in book 2, and not so much in book 1, because the idea was if we ever went back and did a collected edition, I would want to renumber the second and third books if it was all collected in one, so that it wasn't pages 1 through 50 and then start all over again with 1 in the middle of the book. You'd want it to continue on.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, like if you did omnibuses, you would do it in
right, exactly. Because originally, when I numbered the pages, I made them part of the word balloon layer.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Yeah, D says sometimes not having a dog in the fight can be your best critic. Oh, Avery is obviously my harshest critic.
Oh yeah, I constantly expect him to step it up and improve and improve and improve and improve. I'm like, okay, you did that. Oh, you got really good here. That's great. You did really, really good. That means the next time you've got to do even better.
That's right.
I constantly do that to him. Like, okay, here's the new bar. I'm going to hold you to it.
All right. Trying to see if there's a specific page that I want to redo the lettering on, since I am doing lettering now. Page 2. Let me look at this again and just make sure.
Because I want this to do as good as possible. I'm probably not going to be the colorist on all 10 volumes of Hero, because we will be doing other stuff.
That's right.
We'll be doing other stuff that I'll be doing all the art on. And so we'll bring someone else in if we get Hero up there enough.
See, notice on these pages the stroke is there, but it's not yellow. It's actually blue, which actually makes it, because she's in the room where it's dark, it actually makes it work better. I think this one is done. I
think I don't think the characters were separate layers on those pages, or I flattened them when I colored it to do that.
Yeah, I think they were. I don't think they were separate layers. So
yeah.
Let's see. Page size, canvas size. Make sure it's right. Yep, it is.
Yeah, I want Hero to do awesome and become a big deal, so it brings an audience to the other stuff we're gonna do.
Yep.
Which means the bigger any property we work on gets, well, the more people that come up, because, well, hey, we're doing so many books. Well, that means we have to hire a colorist to help out and a letterer. Well, that's jobs for somebody.
Yep.
And I like that idea.
Why is that not centered? 4 needs to be centered. Now it looks good. All right. I'm just gonna spend hours going through each and every one of these pages, just tweaking them, left and right.
That's what you have to do to make it look right.
Uh-huh.
That's what you have to do. That's part of pre-press, man. That's what you have to do.
Yep. And we'll be doing a lot of this ourselves, so I will probably get help. I do have a group of people that I send copies of Hero to when I'm done to check it out, and most of the time they just say, "Oh, it looks great." So, let me know if you see any spelling mistakes.
Exactly.
Looks great. Come on, man.
That's the reason I suggest Avid. Avid will pour. I really believe Avid would reread the book, even though he read the black and white version you gave him. I believe he would reread it again, pay attention, make notes.
6 and 7, I know. Why am I missing a page here?
I don't know. What are you missing?
Page 8. I mean, I'm just missing it from this folder. I'm not missing it completely.
Okay, because it's like
so weird.
I copied that whole folder. Excuse me. I'm getting better, but man, this it's hanging out.
Okay, this word balloon up here at the top, I do not like the way it looks.
It's a little too big, and
yeah. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna flatten this, flatten the page. We're gonna save it as a JPEG. You guys are getting to see how the magic happens. Oops. Okay. Gotta let it save. And we're gonna pull up Illustrator.
You took that brushy border too, didn't you? Because I left it as a layer, so you used it on something else too.
Oh yeah, I used it on a couple of different pages.
I've got tons of files where that's what I do is I just grab a scrap piece of paper and I just splatter ink on it and do brush strokes and do textures, and I scan it and I save it it comes in so handy.
All right, what page was that? Page 9, right? D says, "Last time you were missing a color page. What happened?" Well, it's in another folder.
Oh, that page that was not that I missed and forgot to color. It's colored.
Oh yeah, he found it and put it into the drop.
I've already fixed it, colored it.
Yeah.
And that double page spread. I did find it, and I found it by searching my hard drive, and it was in the deleted files from the folder. So apparently, when I transferred it to the Dropbox, I just dragged and dropped it. I didn't copy it. So when it got deleted from the Dropbox, it went to my deleted files, and that's where I found it from and brought it back.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. So instead of copying and pasting it to the Dropbox, I just dragged and dropped it, or I did something stupid.
Yeah. All right. So what I do, though, usually the first thing I do is I copy one of the word balloons that's already set to. It's got the thickness I want. It's got the opacity I want. It's got the text and the font size I want. So what I do is just copy one and use that as my template. And then I go and I just build a whole new one.
That's fine.
I'm just telling people and then I'll even reuse the actual text. Oh, excuse me. All right. This is going to say, it appears we have a visitor. Does that seem, well, and then what I can do is simply modify and then put it where I want it. Actually, I can actually move it up a little bit so it's not all the way over here. I wonder, you know what? I wonder if let me go back to Photoshop real quick.
Oh, yeah, because it might not be colored under there.
Yeah, let me just double check. If it's not, I can fix it, but I should always double check that when I'm resizing. Oh yeah, this color. Well, hold on a second. There's that one little spot right there that's not colored. So that's not a big deal. All right, so what we'll need to do is, if I want to just cover that little spot up, put the word balloon right there. And then we use the pen tool. And draw a little thingy. And we just play with it till we get it to the size we want.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. Oh my god. And then we do the Pathfinder and merge the two levels. Bring this to front. Oops. See, now I'm debating.
Well, stop playing with it.
Well, if you look at the new lettering, even though it's the same size, it's not as thick, and I don't remember why that is. I think it's because I may have increased the size. Oh, I know what it is. It's not important. I know what it is. I know what it is. There's something I do when I put it back into there you are, my sweet Cherie. Come down here so I can see you proper. Now, you want to hear something funny? Originally, Granny Aura was supposed to have like a Cajun accent, and that's where she says, my sweet Cherie. And I came up with that name or that term because I was watching Bones with my wife, and one of the ladies on the show, she has like a Cajun type of slang, and she would call Bones Cherie all the time, and I liked it. So I had Granny Aura call the mom Cherie. And when I sent these pages over to my editor, and he came back and he started to refer to her as Cherie, I had never given her a name. I didn't have a name for her, and I just figured, there you go, that's her name, that's it. So in book 3, when Hero's mom and dad meet for the first time, she actually introduces herself as Cherie, and he introduces himself as Sam, which is what his father's name is, Sam. But originally, at this point in the story, that wasn't her name. That was just her way of, of referring to her, like saying, "Oh, you're a deer," or "You're a doll," or something like that, or "honey," or something like that. By calling her Cherie, that was her way of doing that. But I didn't realize that was what I was actually setting up to name the character. But when my editor referred to her as Cherie later on in the story, I just said, "Oh, well, I guess that's her name." So, in other words, my editor did have a little bit of input without even realizing he did, and that's okay. I think if he ever finds out, he'll stake a claim to her.
Dude, he's going anti-comics gate, so.
Right. He's not full blown, so there's. Let's see. And then what I do is I copy just the word balloon itself, and I save it as a separate file. I do this so that I can go back to it and adjust it if I need to in the future, like if I misspell something or I use bad grammar. It appears we have a visitor. I spelled that correctly. So most likely I won't be going back to it, but you never know. I've had to go back to a lot of different things, so. All right.
You had to go back to Cali?
What? I'm sure that's a reference to something. I don't know what the heck you're talking about.
It's an old LL Cool J song. Going back to Cali.
I don't. Honestly, I don't think I don't think I know any LL Cool J songs, to be honest with you.
You didn't listen to early hip hop?
No, I did not.
I did.
Now, my early days was I listened to oldies, the oldies station. The Beatles and Elvis and all.
Yeah, listen to that too.
Yeah, we don't have an oldie station here in town anymore, do we?
I don't know. I don't listen to the radio.
Oh.
I don't.
I listen to talk radio and what they now call the oldies. It's the stuff from the 80s, the 90s, and more. And it's
when you hear Guns N' Roses and Metallica,
and they're calling it oldies, yeah.
In the department stores,
yeah.
In the department stores, and the Muzak versions of Jane's Addiction, when you're in the elevator, it's like, oh, I kind of.
All right, check out this gorgeous.
My teenage rebellion is now safe for work.
That's right. All right, here. We're going to build this page from the bottom up. You got the black and white layers. Now, if you look at this page and you see my gray tones on this was very, very limited. I just added some grays to the background and grays to the trees, and that was it. I mean, that was the most I did. It's Avery who added the colors, and this is just like the darker layer of colors. But then he added highlights, and then he added, more. There's actually another layer in here that like brings it on. I used his border layer. I redid Granny. Oh, there he has the light, the sunlight shining through. And then there's another layer to lighten it up a little bit. And then we have the words and the page number. And then the template to make sure everything fits. And as you can see, her ear goes out into the yellow. It even goes out into the red, but that's okay. I'm not too worried about that.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. Even if that gets cropped a little bit, that's all right.
Yeah, it's totally fine. Full bleed art is fine.
Now, with this page, I think I'm going to leave the stroke around Granny at the bottom alone.
Yeah.
Simply because it helps her stand out on the page.
And the way she overlaps that panel.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think I'm going to leave it. What?
I was coughing.
Oh.
Sinus drainage choking me.
I thought you were going to... Oh, you know what? I just noticed something. Hold on a second. It appears we have a visitor. That doesn't look centered, does it?
No, not quite. No, you need
to
nudge it. You need to nudge that over just a tad.
See, that's why I keep it as a separate page, so I can go back and do that if I need to. I love how the backgrounds are so detailed and the characters look animated. That's exactly the what I was looking for.
Yeah.
And what's so funny is when I originally started this project, that was not my intent. As I went on, I started separate. Originally, the first 4 or 5 pages of Hero, I did all the illustration on one page, and it wasn't till a little later that I started separating the characters from the backgrounds to give it more of that animated feel. And it was Avery who, in coloring it, ran with that and did exactly that. He did the characters as if they were cell shaded, and then he just painted the backgrounds, and it was like, oh my god, that's exactly, but that wasn't the intent initially. I was just trying to tell a story with animated looking characters. I wasn't going for the animated look. It's just how I drew, and it worked out great. It especially works out really good in later issues in which the characters are like walking through the woods and there's trees in the background. And what I would do is I would draw like an 18, I would take like a 17 by 11 piece of art paper, and I would draw like one straight panel of just nothing but trees and backgrounds. And I could use that over and over again behind the characters because I drew the characters separate from the backgrounds. And I could turn the background around. I could layer two different sets of trees on top of each other just to make it different. And it made finishing the pages a lot quicker when I did that. And it also left room for Avery to point out the fact that I really did a bad job at layering some of those some of those backgrounds together.
I fixed what I could when I found it.
There were some that, well, actually, to be honest with you, hey, I got to show it to you. I'll actually show it.
There were some that it was bad. I was just like, oh my God, I'm going to strangle him.
Well, there was
well, then again, you're trying to do things that I figured out how to do like 10 years ago, and like I'm being a little harsh when I could just like show you.
Yeah. This is the cool thing about Photoshop is it'll line things up for you.
Illustrator.
Well, no, this is in Photoshop, but I'm just gonna merge merge the text layers, make them all the same. And that one looks good. Very good. I love this page. This is also another one of my favorite pages. I just love the way Granny Aura stands out. Now, what's so funny is in book 2, I drew Granny Aura slightly different. I kind of, because she appears more in book 2, and I kind of got more comfortable drawing her. So she doesn't look exactly like this in book 2. She's similar. She's a little bit more animated. Like in this, she's kind of, I would say, froppy. You know, but her character, including the way I drew her, developed over time. So, all right, well, there we go. That was fixed. Don't save. Don't save. There we go. Now let me find page 8 and see why I did not include it in here. Let's see here. Color. Chapter 1. Page 8. This one hasn't been touched since February. Oh, this is definitely one of those ones that I wanted to remove the stroke from. Oh, wait a minute. This isn't the right size. This is when I was trying to set it up for comic book size. Yeah, that's not the right file. That's not the one I want.
Thank God. You know what? Thank God that didn't work out.
Yeah, I know.
That's just not how you wrote this book. That's not how the book was intended to be presented.
Yep, I know.
So
what Avery's talking about is at one point we pitched the idea of Hero to a publisher who at the time was only accepting projects that were comic book size, regular standard comic book size, and I was willing to modify all my pages to fit that, but they passed on the project. So I'm like, oof, thank God. That was a whole bunch of extra work I didn't have to do because, you know, I really didn't want to have to do it. I had to adjust every single page, and it was just it wasn't going to be fun. So here's one of your original files. I'll have to double check. I think you may have updated this one. Yeah, because just by looking at this, you can see it doesn't have the pink in the ears. And I'm fairly certain you added the pink in the ears for this page. So let me go to your most recent version. Where's my Avery file? Avery 11/11/18. Page 8. Let's see here. Ah, look, see? Pink in the ears. Perfect. All right. I'm going to save this into the new folder. And I'll play around with it later. There is some tweaking I may do to it. Not much, but new color version, page 8, save. Yeah, because this one has that purple stroke around it. We may get rid of that altogether. It's funny, for some reason, I had the stroke around the mom, but not Hero, which is really dumb. But then again, we're talking about me here, so.
Hold on, let me see.
No.
That is an oversight. That is a little bit of an oversight.
Yeah. But I can remove it. It's not a big deal. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an oversight.
Yeah. Oh, at least this page is the right size. Okay, cool. Let me grab the template, stick it on top.
Can't be too harshly. I drew a whole comic about Edgar Allan Poe's poop, so what do I know about anything?
Yeah, see, this doesn't have the page number as a separate layer. We want it to be a separate layer. It's not as important with book 1. I gotta leave that alone there, so I know I need to go back. I'll save. Very good, very good. That's what happens when I go faster than the computer. All right, how long have we been live streaming? I haven't been paying attention.
I don't know, bro.
Okay. I didn't think anybody else major was live streaming right now, so I figured go ahead and start it. Let me see, is anybody else live streaming right now?
Before the big boys.
Yeah, before they jump in and start doing stuff.
Because I'm going to go.
Edwin's live now, so.
Edwin's cool. I like Edwin, man. Edwin's just a likable dude. I think so. Like if you're really ticked off about some of the stuff people are saying and doing, like, just watch Edwin. Like, he'll chill you out.
Yep. Let's see. These JPEG images, I can get rid of those. I don't need them anymore. Here's a page that I didn't have you color. It was originally supposed to be for the comic version. Originally, it was the 1 stood for.
Hold on.
Issue 1.
Oh, I did color. I think I don't color that.
I don't think you did.
Or I looked at it and I said, that sucks, do it again.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure you said that.
Because I have a file like that somewhere.
Yeah, I probably sent it to you, but I don't think we ever. That was part of the. We attempted to do a Kickstarter, making just chapter 1 into just a comic. A comic.
I have it, but I didn't color it.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I was like, dude, that sucks. Because I talked you out of it because I was like, that sucks. That's a huge step down from what you've already done for your covers. And it is.
Yeah.
It is. That's what we have to tell each other, that stuff when we like, hey, yo, you're better than that.
I know. This page, the introduction page, got changed slightly in the fact that I actually added a line. Oh, that's something I need to do. I need to work on. My editor had asked if I would do a map of the world and give ideas of where stuff is at. I told him I would, and I thought about using it as like the inside cover, cover and first page, or maybe like the inside cover of the book. I need to sit down and actually draw out a map. I may do that during my live stream on Monday, because that's something I need to do for the book. It's something I want to do for the book, I should say.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Well, there are 2 maps in the book. There's the one that the bad guy has on his wall in his cave in chapter 2. And I gotta remember what page that was. Man, I tried to lay down today and it did not happen.
I did for just a little bit.
Oh, maybe it was the beginning of chapter 3. Oh, here it is, right here. Page 57. I'll have to look and see what your color. Yeah, see, he has like a map on the cave wall. And there is some different things written in here, but none of it was actually meant to make any sense, to be honest with you. This is me just scribbling on the walls. The idea is that he's setting out a battle plan. Actually, he does that in book 2 as well. There's a let's see. There's a scene in book 2 in which he's meeting with his generals, and they're talking about what they're going to do, where their next point of attack is, and there's like a here it is. This is the page. And he's got this table that's made out of like rock, and it's supposed to be in the shape of the world, separate islands, separate continents type stuff. And there's all these different trees and X's and buildings and so forth. They're all supposed to represent something. So you got
Tamriel. No, I'm kidding.
What?
Nothing.
I'll replay it and I'll find out what you said.
I said Tamriel.
No. Actually, you guys want to see a page from book 2 that's kind of cool? That actually goes along with this one. Where is it? Is it this one? Nope, that's not it. It's this page right here with the generals that come.
Yeah.
He says, move aside, puny creature. And this guy here says, barbarians, we don't need their kind of scum. Star Wars reference, yay!
You know what would be good?
What?
If Hero takes off enough that you can do it?
What's that?
Is a board game based on Hero that functions like a hybrid role-playing board game where you have the little it comes with little plastic figures and a big map, and you role play like a board game sort of. It's kind of like a cross between a board game and Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, it would be cool.
And I bet you we know someone who would be good at helping you figure it out, but you got to get Hero off the ground first.
Yeah, in this page right here, you see this guy right here. He's a is he a badger? I think he's a badger, but his name's the Baron. And then you have this little guy right down here named Sneevil. Who's very much into what's his name from Lord of the Rings. And then you have this big guy, this cat guy. I forget what his name is. I actually named him.
Kitty.
But he's important in actually book 3. He actually appears in book 3.
Snarf.
Yeah. And then there's this evil looking beaver. And then there's this guy here who's like a minotaur almost. And then you have a giant snake in the background. These are all another snake. Yeah.
Snake.
Yeah. Move aside. Well, originally this text said "move aside, puny mammal," and then my editor pointed out that they're all mammals except for the snake. So that's kind of like saying "move aside, puny man," when you're a man. Well, so he said creature, puny creature.
Who was he calling a puny creature?
The Baron.
What is he?
A badger.
He could have said rodent. Even I don't think badgers are rodents, but to him.
Yeah, that would be more of an insult, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, but I had to throw in the barbarians. We don't need their kind of scum.
Yeah.
That was just being Mike screwing around.
Yeah.
But as you can see from that page, the stroke around the characters is kind of important. It helps separate them from the background. But once you color it, it's just they're going to pop. So
yeah, it may not be necessary.
Yep.
We'll see.
All right, I think I'm going to wrap this up. I got some other stuff I need to work on, and I still don't have a drawing video for today. I don't have a drawing video for tomorrow, so I may have to do some drawing tonight in order to make a video for tomorrow. I can't displease my fans. They need to have something every day. Oh, and I got to work on the Indiegogo too. That's more important.
Yeah, that's very important.
There's a lot of work involved in that. Oh,
I bet.
So that's one of the reasons why I don't think it's going to happen this week, even though I really want it to. Maybe after, maybe not this coming Monday, but the following Monday after the holiday. Because I'm betting you the week of a holiday is probably the worst time to launch a campaign, because nobody's at their computer. Nobody's checking out what's going on. They're spending time with family, and, you know, especially the people I'm trying to reach, people who have children and have families, you know?
Yeah.
So maybe the week after things. That's probably, that'll give me a little bit more time to work on some stuff.
We'll work on it. Do you want a tier with a print by me?
Absolutely.
Okay. I need to know, because I gotta do the print, you know.
Oh, it'll definitely happen.
I gotta do the artwork so I can.
Do you know what you're gonna do an image of?
It would be Hero.
Oh, well, I'm just saying, you could do anything you wanted, you know?
Exactly. I have a kind of an idea in my head, but
okay.
You're not going to see it till it's done.
Okay.
And I want to get Wep's illustration done this week too. That last one, I promised Wep one more illustration for his game, but he needs to get his people back on, man.
Yeah. I like, this is something Photoshop now does, where it shows you all the you most recently opened files.
Yes.
I kind of like that. I kind of like that.
It's very useful, because sometimes, man, I will spaz out and save something in a really weird place and I'll go back and I won't be able to find it the next day, and like, what did I do? I can't explain it. It's just stupidity.
Yeah. Oh, you won't believe how many times I've saved a file in not the place I needed to save it, and then I can't find it.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm
talking about. And then I'll find it, like, in some record of something. And just, you know.
And you're like, why did I do that? That's dumb.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. I do the same thing. I think everybody does it.
All right. Well, Salty Pleb, I'm not sure if you're still there or not, but thanks a lot for joining. D, it's always a great pleasure to have you with us, man. I absolutely enjoy every time you chime in. It's a good thing, and I appreciate it. And I don't know if Jerry's out there not watching or not. You know, he sometimes likes to lurk in the background. I appreciate y'all coming out and checking out the video. I know this was unscheduled, but because I missed yesterday, I felt obliged. So, all right, everybody, thanks for joining us, and I promise the next one we do on Monday will be a little bit more lively, and we'll actually have drawing and stuff like that. Lettering and stuff like that is very boring, but you know what? It's part of the process. It's got to get done. It's part of the process.
I don't know. Some people might actually, you know, as things pick up, may have questions about what you're doing.
Oh, that's true. That's true. All right. Well, thanks a lot, everybody. Appreciate you checking out the video, and we'll catch y'all next time.
Bye.